Okay, wow, wow, wow. It has been like forever, I feel, since we've been carrying on with this. And I'm so sorry. If you've been watching me for a while, you know my head like goes from one thing to another. It's like crazy. But that's how I roll. I just get so into different projects, and yeah, that's just me. If you're a busy mum, you know how life is. So crazy. And some people's lives are crazier than others, and I find that mine just tends to be chaotic. Working and doing YouTube and full-time mum and carer, and wow, is life crazy. And I've also started, for those of you who know, I've started a new venture with my second channel, with needle felting. I've got a second channel called Tranquility Fibre Art, and yeah, so I've been trying to put some time into that. It's geared towards sort of building up a second side to the business in order to take care of my son. So yeah, lots of different multifaceted sides to life. So that all aside, we're going to get into some more of this today. I was intending to start this video weeks ago, but then I ran out of glue and sort of like, well, I can't do anything now because I don't have any glue. So glue ordered, because I like doing this with matte Mod Podge, and refilling my little squeegee bottle here so that when it dries we don't end up with lots of shiny, because I tend to get glue everywhere. And if you use a glue that dries with sort of gloss and stuff, you can see where you've overspilled and where you've added extra glue. So if I use the matte Mod Podge, you can't tell so much where I've squished glue everywhere. So we got to the last thing we did was put this little doodad together. So we are now on page 19. We are going to go with this, and we're going to start. So I'm going to get all these pieces together, assembled and glued, and we're going to make this little puppy today. Well, we're going to just basically work our way through the book. Let's see how far we can go. I'll get my pieces together. Okay, that's looking great. I've swapped to this glue for this one because I think it's going to splay out everywhere. I've got my little pieces. I'm going to try and put them on with my tweezers. So I'm thinking I just want to drop them on top, and I want to be able to move them into place. How does that look? One, because the Beacon 3-in-1 is great, but it's a bit stringy, as you have noticed now. Once this is dried and it's all firm, I will try and clean up and pick up any stringy bits. But for this, I want to be able to slide them into place. That went well together really well. So I'll make sure it's not. But I used my board, kept pushing it down, and used the little pieces to make sure we had right angles. Is any of that wonky? I can't see. I'll have a look at it off camera in a second, because you've got a bird's eye view and I can't stick my head over the top. I can't see if any of that is wonky. So I'll check that in a second. But that's the first piece done. Well, the outside anyway, we've got to fill it. Okay, so I've looked at the picture and I can't see the hole. So that means the beads must be side on. So I'm going to put a blob of glue into the hole, and I'm going to use the hole to hopefully hold the curved bit, and let's see if that works. So this is why we see I've got a big blob of glue. This is why I use matte glue, because I make a mess. So let's see how this works. So I'll use my tweezers and let's see if I can get, okay. We'll have to hope that they don't fall out. I can feel them sitting in the recess. So let's see how those dry. Okay, I've tried to angle this so that you can see and so that I can actually see at the same time. I may need to adjust so that I can get them in. We have various beads and little bits and pieces from these two clear bags, and we're putting in some of the books and things that we've made already. So I've tried to match up as best I can. If I get some of these tiny books wrong, if I've picked the wrong one, we'll just have to swap it over. You know, we'll just have to use the alternate book on one of the other shelves. I've tried to match up as best I can. So I'm going to be using this glue so that if I make a mess, my matte Mod Podge, hopefully it won't show. Let's go. This is exciting bit, putting it all together. It's virtually impossible for me to show you as I'm putting them in because they're literally sliding forward. So I'm going to put them in and then I'll show you as they're done. While that's drying, we'll do the top and then we can have a look. Okay. Yeah, this bothers me. I keep looking at this, and these lines, this wood showing bothers me, so I'm going to do that as well. This really bothers me. So I've got a red Sharpie. I've only got this bright red, but I'm hoping when it dries it will look a little bit less bright. So I'm gonna give it a go. I'm going to draw, and I'm hoping it will just blend a bit better than this horrendous wood. So we'll see if it soaks in a bit better. It looks better than that other side, doesn't it? I just can't have this wood showing. I wish I had a deeper red, but I don't. So when it soaks in, I think it looks better. Don't you? It's a bit, well, no, actually when it's drying in it looks a bit better. Yeah, that's better. I can't do this bright wood over the red. So I'm going to go around and just draw on the bits that are exposed. It makes me feel better. Sorry, my battery went, but we're all charged now. I'm ready to go again. So I'm happy with how the pen has dried, how it's looking. Now we've got to put these little beads on now, C43, and again we're going to put them on sideways so that the hole is not seen from the front. I've just filled up my little glue thing again with matte Mod Podge, and I'm going to put a bead of glue on each hole. Put that to one side a minute. Now we need some things we made before. So we need this book. I'm sorry I can't zoom you in any closer. And my light's just gone out. Okay, bear with me a second, let's see if we can carry on. And then this candlestick, that goes on the top. But we're going to put that to one side because we need that in a second. And we want this book. Okay, so it says, and what I'm going to try and do is glue these in. So it says this book sits in the front like this, and this book goes in the back like this, so that from the front Oh, and that one must have... Okay, so from the front, your angle will have this book sort of sit in this direction, and that book go in that direction and leaning forward, like this. So I'm going to place it how I want it, like this, like that. I'm going to do it off camera because it's really difficult for me to actually, while I'm trying, and then I'm going to put spots of glue. I'm going to use the matte Mod Podge, and I'm going to put spots of glue here, here, just to hold it in place, and then I'll show you when I've done it. Okay, on the last cabinet, your sides went on top, like this. On this one, sides are going next to. Make sure you get that right, otherwise all your pieces on the inside won't fit. So this time we're going to put the glue on the outside rim of this one, but adjoint it to the side. So don't just assume all your pieces are the same. This glue is quite stringy, so I clean up my pieces after with my tweezers. But don't worry about it when it's going on. I just want my pieces to stick. Okay, I use my board. Sorry, my hands are in the way. It's really difficult. I use my board to make sure my back pieces are flat, and you will see me from time to time use a scrap piece that perhaps comes inside one of the this is one of the pieces that came from inside this. Now I use it to make sure that my angles are all right angles and the pieces fit together. Then move it around to make sure your glue doesn't stick. Always make sure that you know whether your back panel and your side pieces go on top of your back panel or to the side. Right, camera, are you keeping up? And always make sure, some of them have little, see this, when it's inevitable you get little shard pieces, little splinters when you're pushing out your back pieces. Make sure this goes on the inside and that your back piece that faces on the outside of your project is your best piece of wood. Okay, so I've got these things that are supposed to go on the top. Now I have, this is the top, and it shows you this we made previously. This is out of the little bag. Now we made a letter. This is a little book we made. We made a letter. I cannot find the little letter. I have, if you could see my desk, I have multiple things we made. And I cannot find it. I have got pictures and books and furniture and multiple things we've made out of beads, and I've got them in little pots. I've got some to the side, and I can't find it anywhere. And I know I put it, I have things in little different sections of pages we've made, but my kitty loves, if you've seen any of my videos, my kitty loves to jump up and join me while I craft, and I have a horrible feeling she may have walked off with it stuck to her paw. Now, when I do the Lego videos, when I do my my other crafting video I did with the other book Nook, she would walk around bits of coloured fluff, bits of coloured hedgerow. So yes, I am concerned that she may have done. So what I have done with a piece of yellow wood is made a makeshift little letter. Now if I find, I've had a look around, I've also had a look out in the garden. If I should find my little tiny letter, I will pull apart my tabletop and put it in. If not, this little teeny makeshift will have to do. Yes, so if I should find my letter that's travelled on my cat's paw, if I should find it on my desk, because my desk is rather chaotic right now, then I will change it. So if you do, in a later video or later in this, see that this has changed to, because this is just a bit of wood, the real letter, then you know I found it. If not, then this will have to do. I can't leave it out because I'm a bit OCD that it's supposed to be there, so something has to represent it. So that will do. So let's get on and find out what's supposed to be. Let's put the things on this table that's supposed to be there. So I've lined up, if my camera will try and focus, come on. I've lined up this bottom corner with this ridge here to get a clean, so that I can get a clean and even. So this bottom with this corner and this bottom with this corner. So then I've gone to the back, turned around, and so I've lined it up this with this kink here and with this kink here, and then I've pushed together. I hope you can see because my camera's having a hard time focusing. And then that looks pretty. Just mooch it around so that it looks about the same. And that looks pretty even to me. But they don't have lines or anything, but I'm quite happy with that. They don't have marks on the sides of the top. But mooch it around till you think it looks, and then I will colour it in a second once it's dry. But we've got 2 of those, so I'm going to repeat for the second one and see how we get on. Okay, so just remember, all your pieces go on top of your base, not to the side. And now I'm just, because the glue's still squishy for a little bit, I'm just going to make sure now that all of my pieces are even, all of them, and then I will go and scoop up any glue and make sure it's all nice and clean. Okay, so I've cleaned up all the edges, pulled off as much glue because it gets stringy, this glue. So I've pulled off stringy bits off the glue and it looks nice and neat. Now I've got these tiny little things, and again I'm going to put these on with my Mod Podge because the deck's just for decorative, and I want to slide them in place. Now it looks like they're just top and bottom like that. It's sort of just top and bottom equally to give it that sort of crate look. there we go. I'm so chuffed with what we've done in this video. For you, it will be, I don't know, for me, it's actually been over a week. And by the time I've edited this video, it'll be a couple of weeks. But I'm very proud of what we've done. It's been very fiddly. I'm really pleased with the fact that I found a Sharpie that wasn't too bright. It was slightly brighter than I thought it needed, but actually once it's dried, it's calmed down. Yeah, so I'm really pleased, and I'm very excited that we are now ready. We are on page 22 when we come back for the next video, and we are ready to assemble. So we should be starting walls and lighting diagrams and things like that. So we are so close to finishing. I'm super excited. Yes, so we are nearly there. So if you've watched this whole video, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I hope this has been hello baby, sorry, my kitty is behind me pouring me for some attention. I hope this has been useful to you, and I hope you've enjoyed our little yeah, hello baby, I hope you've enjoyed our little our make-its, and I hope you've crafted along with me, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.